Welcome back to Trading Card Tuesday. I'm Debbie with Ugly Dog Creations, and today we're creating another ATC or ACEO card, and I'm working with that steampunk kind of genre, and we've got a steampunk robot or cyborg type of girl here, and I'm using Copic colors, which I've been using, and I add a little bit of Prismacolor at the end just for the metallics to bring a little punch to that, and the details. I think I might later go back, I might revisit this card and you'll see at the end. I used a finer liner, 0.03 I think I did, and use a little bit of a thicker liner. I might go back in and add a little bit more later to that, but I kind of wanted to talk about the Copic markers today. Usually previously, before I started with Copics, and I started Copics about last October, and I use Spectrum Noir markers, which are great markers. I did enjoy them. I liked working with them. They are refillable. A little bit cheaper than Copic markers, but not terribly cheaper. Definitely you want to look at if you're buying individual markers where you can get them and the price for them. But the Copic markers are such a different quality with them. First of all, the Spectrum Noir, if you've used Spectrum Noir markers, they have a bullet nib and a chisel tip. But the bullet nib is not going to give you the same type of flexibility, and so you're not going to get the same type of blending of colors that you will with the Copic markers. With that brush nib, so the Copic sketch markers, which is what I'm using the sketch, they have a chisel nib like the Spectrum Noir has, but it has a brush nib, and that brush nib really helps with that blending process. And even in the hair, you can see here, I kind of go back and forth with it until I get it to where it really fades in together. You have to remember when you're using alcohol-based markers, you have to let the ink dry to see what your final piece is going to kind of look like. But the shading that comes with the Copic markers is superior to the Spectrum Noir. So if you're looking for an alcohol-based marker, and it doesn't have to be the Copics. Copics can be kind of expensive. They're about $7.99 retail per marker, although I wouldn't pay $7.99. You can definitely get a better deal. Uzak or Dick Blick company, definitely look at them because they have them at lower prices. You can also get them in sets. If you buy them in sets, you're going to get a better deal. But when you start buying in sets, then be wary that if you buy a set, when you're going to buy another set, just make sure that you're not duplicating your markers. I duplicated a few markers and regret that a little bit because I could have another marker in my collection. So kind of look at that. You can also even look on Amazon and order them on Amazon, sometimes getting some companies with some lower prices. So you can kind of look at that. But otherwise, that's all I wanted to kind of talk about today, was kind of tell you a little bit more about the markers and why Copic markers are really, really a good deal in reference to getting that superior blending. Now, there are other markers out there on the market. Even Michaels has a new one that has a brush nib, and I've not used it. If somebody would like me to do a comparison at some point in time, I'll leave a comment below, and maybe I'll buy a few and do a comparison to see what they kind of look like. Even if you want me to do a comparison between the Spectrum Noir or want to see something like that, let me know. I can do a video on that. But you can even get other brush markers, so I would look at those. But remember, these are refillable, so it definitely becomes cost-effective having a refillable marker. So pretty much the card is just about done. I'm finishing up the background here. All the colors are listed below inside the detailed description there. Remember, I do a trading card Tuesday every Tuesday, so please see me next Tuesday. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe, and come and join the family. And as always, I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you get creative today.